She is an internationally traveling comic. You can see her all over the world. She has 3 one-hour specials. The beautiful, the sexy, the talented Nicci Take, everybody!
Good evening. So my name's Nicci Take, Miss Nicci Take or Mistake. But I'm not the only mistake in here. When I got on stage, these 2 boys thought they were going to get lucky. That's a fucking mistake. Now they realise I'm a boy. One of them still does, don't you? He'll be hanging around at the end going, I'm not gay, but... Oh, bless, look at him. We should have the camera at the front so you can fucking see this. This is going to be fun. So how are you? So I'm not from around these parts. So I'm English. So I apologise in advance. I travel all over the world, so I think it's fascinating that literally all over the world now, stand-up comedy clubs like this are full. I think it's because you've all got the same problem we've got in the UK, and that's that television is shit. All American reruns. So you appreciate the irony of you all coming out tonight to avoid watching a TV, and now you're fucking watching a TV. Go on, think about it. You'll get that, transvestite, fucking hell, I can wait. Like, I'm at the end, they give me 20, you can fucking, we can take our time. So me and TV got a lot in common, right? We both like to be the centre of attention. We're both, when we're turned on, we like to be looked at. Similarities end there though, because you know, this TV doesn't suck. Oh, look at his face! Crushed! Oh my god! You thought you were in, didn't you? So I've been doing this now kind of professionally for 4 years, and I'm sort of getting used to the looks, right? I'm looking around and I can see people looking, and I think I understand, right? I think all the boys, you know, you're all looking at the skirt and you're thinking, why? And all the girls, you're looking at my contouring and thinking, how? All the boys are going, what the fuck's contouring? And so, boys, after the gig, I'll be in the ladies' room, because in every civilized country, apart from North Carolina, I'm allowed to. And I'll be in there with your girlfriends talking about how, and depending on your job, you'll fucking realise why. Yeah, and you should be worried, because I have the 3 things that women find attractive in a man. Number 1, a sense of humour. I've made her laugh. You're not going to do that till you take your boxer shorts off tonight. Number 2, a sense of style. How am I doing, ladies? Do you like this skirt? Isn't it cool? And number 3, a black American Express card. That's the one without the limit. Who the fuck wants to come shopping, ladies? I'm a lot of fun in the shops. So I like to. I do a lot of corporate work. I teach people to sell, and so I spend a lot of time on stage in front of a lot of boring people. Yeah, that was going to get a joke, but I laughed. But there you go. And I like to start it off by telling people, look, you know, I need to address the pink elephant in the room. I am the T in LGBT. If you've got a problem with that, if you have, that bit wasn't funny. He's just nervous. What's your name, sunshine? Alex. That's A-L-E-X. That's a great name, because you could use that as a boy and a girl. We might have some fun. So yeah, that's like I said, I'm the T in LGBT. If you've got a problem with that, then the clues in the language, you've got the problem, not me. And maybe you should move to North Carolina, where they run classes and teach you to cut eye holes in pillowcases and make crosses that don't fall over when you burn them, because you're a fucking dickhead. And so I did a set. I did like an hour and a half in a golf club in Wiltshire. Now Wiltshire is an area of England that's very, very white. It's sort of like Westchester, right? The most homogeneous audience I've ever presented to. There's like 50 couples, 100 people. They are all 50 because it's a 50th birthday. They all play golf, which means they're boring. And they're all straight because they're married. And so I do the LGBT, and there's not a fucking, nobody looks at it. And I'm like, oh God, you guys don't know what LGBT is, do you? So just in case there's a few of you here, let me explain. Like LGBT stands for, L is for lesbian, okay? G is for gay, B is for bisexual, and T is for fucking fabulous. So one of my observations though is, where the fuck did we as a community, the LGBT, so any shout out, anybody else in the community, any LGBTers in? Hey, well done, thank you. So I'm a bit worried, why the fuck did we let the straight white boys name us? Because surely LGBT, that's an ordered list of preference for straight boys, isn't it? Like L's are at the top because straight boys like to watch porn, but they don't like to watch straight porn because it makes them feel inadequate. But lesbian porn's okay, so lesbians are socially acceptable, we like those, right? Then they like the G's, don't they? Because that's those boys taking themselves out the market, leaving more totty for us. So G's, they're socially acceptable. And I'm a little bit worried about the B's though. Right, that feels a little bit like you gay boys coming over here stealing our women. And then most straight boys don't like us because, we not only do we not know who we want to sleep with, we can't fucking make our mind up what we want to dress like. So I think it is an ordered list, but it's upside down, right? So I think we should order people by their social skills, right? So at the bottom are the straight boys, right? Because they've got no fucking social skills. Pretty good at talking about cars and football and the women they've shagged. But nothing interesting, right? Okay, so they're at the bottom. Then above them, you've got the lesbians, right? Now the lesbians are really fucking good at talking, right? They can talk about anything, they're really good socially, they can talk about politics, they can talk about religion, they can talk about all sorts of shit. Really cool, interesting people if you're lesbian. Or you know a few then, right? I don't want to fucking talk to anybody that's not in the club, right? You know them? Yeah? Unless, actually, it's okay if you're female and straight, right? Because you're just a lesbian who hasn't discovered the right girl yet. Right, so we've got the lesbians, they're above the straight boys. And then you've got the G's, right? Now, fuck, G's. Now, they are just hedonistic party animals. They know how to have a good time, right? So they're fun to be with, really good social skills. But not as good as the bisexual guys. Bisexuals, they got really fucking good social skills because they're hunting us all. Being chatted up by a bisexual girl is, I have to say, you can't say no. But then I'm trans, we can't say no anyway. So you've got your L's, your G's, the B's, and then, like I said, the T should then be at the top because, like I said, we're fucking fabulous. Thank you. So one of the things I've discovered about my transition is language is different. So I've been helping my girlfriends understand that English for men is different than English for women. So for example, most men, when they hear the word no, actually hear the word maybe. Or try harder. Yeah? In there, girls? So I've been studying it, and I think it's all in the body language. Okay? So girls, here's how you say no in boy speak in order to get them to hear it. Okay? So this is how girls stand. Okay, I've got my legs crossed. I'm making two S's. Okay, I've got an S that way and an S that way. Right, that's a very feminine pose, right? This doesn't work when you say no because they hear maybe. So here, what you need to do is change the pose. Okay? So you need to uncross your legs. Right, stand like a boy, lift your chest up, hold your shoulder, right? Lean forward, look him in the eye and go, fuck off! And do you know what? They fucking get the right idea. So I'm outside a club in London called Madame Jojo's, right? And this, a bit like one day that just came, a fucking gorgeous black guy comes up to me, 6'4", taps me on the shoulder and says, excuse me, miss. if I gave you 500 quid, that's about $750, would you come and spend the evening with me in my hotel? And so I have a stock response for this, right? Because, so I kind of looked at him and I stole a line from Bertrand Russell from My Fair Lady, if you're familiar with the film, and I looked at him and went, yeah, there you go. So I'm not sure I'm the lady you think I am. And it almost always gets a laugh, right? Please tell me that wasn't the light for a minute.
No.
Because I'm not fucking coming off. Not get off. So anyway, like I said, so I said to him, I'm not the lady, and I was expecting a laugh, and I didn't get a laugh, right? This genuine story, this guy kind of took a step back, looked me up and down, and went, 650 quid. I was like, oh dear. I said, no, piss off, come back with a zero and we can talk. And he disappeared, and my girlfriend said, no, you can't do that. I said, why not? She said, what are you going to do if he comes back with £6,500? I was like, go shopping. Like, I'm not gay, but £6,500 for 7 minutes work. Do you know how much of that is an hour? Not even Beyonce gets that, so I'll fucking go. So just to disappoint the boys even further, I am straight, I am happily married, I have 3 kids, one of each. Like, do I have to explain that? So, well, one boy, one girl, one we're not quite sure is probably going to follow daddy. One gay, one straight, one probably going to follow daddy. One bright, one super fucking bright, and one who's going to follow mummy. I gotta be fair. No, you've got to be fair. You've got to be fair. So, just tripping over that. So I've noticed that. Do you know the difference between a straight boy and a gay boy? It's 4 gin and tonics. Right, you girls know this, don't you? And so what I've been doing is I've been gauging how I can tell how much alcohol a man has had by the way they talk to me. Okay, so no alcohol, right? They generally don't want to come and talk to me. Like, I'm too big and imposing. What did Wandel say? Trans women are all full of confidence. No shit, mate. So they don't talk to me, right? They need 1 drink at least to loosen themselves up, and they usually come up and they say things like, "It's nice this place, isn't it?" That's a 1 gin and tonic. Okay, 1 gin and tonic. Right. Second drink, right? Now they get a little bit forward. It's like, you're really pretty. Right, 3rd gin and tonic, right? Now they're getting advanced. Now it's so could I buy you a drink? But there's something that happens to the male brain at 4 gin and tonics, because it goes straight from can I buy you a drink to so can I have a blowjob? Yeah, the worst, which I'm pretty certain was 6 gin and tonics, was some guy followed me into the ladies' room, got his cock out and said, "Suck this." I was like, fucking hell, Dad. There you go. I said, does Mum know you're here? And then I realised he was wearing one of her dresses, so he probably did. Looks like it runs in the family. So I've had an interesting year. Unfortunately, my mother passed away this year, and so my dad set out to organise the funeral, and I thought, well, fucking hell, I've got to do a 9-minute set. I was supposed to be up in Edinburgh at the Fringe, and I kind of had to come down, and I sat there, and there's like 60 people. I'm a fucking stand-up comic, and 60 people in a microphone. I'm going to tell a joke. So I looked at them and I said, like, my dad said to me that I had to organise everything for the funeral, and would I make sure I got the plaque on the coffin? I said, yeah, what do you want me to put on it? And he said, well, just put, here lies Susie, finally silent. I thought, that's fucking funny, because 2 weeks before she died, my mum said, you'll have to organise your dad's, put his plaque in, here lies Brian, finally stiff. That's not my gag, that's a Mae West gag. But I told it in church, there were 150 people, and they didn't fucking laugh. So I had to say, look, my mum really wouldn't want you sitting there whooping and meaning. She would have wanted you to laugh, so if I can chill out. But I got him with this one. I said, my dad's quite tight. He calls himself the world's most economical person, which I like to call a fucking miser. And he said to me that you need to put the obituary in the Liverpool Echo, which is our local paper. I said, okay. He said, they probably charge per head, so don't spend a lot of money, just put Susie is dead, because they'll all fucking know it's me. Oh, okay, right, no problem. So I phoned up the paper and I said, look, can I put an advert in the obituary, Susie is dead? And the girl said, look, it's £10 for 7 words and then £1 thereafter. So we can have a few, I still got to charge you £10. I went, all right, let me phone my dad. So I phoned my dad and I said, well, Dad, you can have a few more words. He said, all right, let me think about it. And he came out an hour later, he said, right, put Susie is dead. Ford Escort for sale. Well, you know what? They all laughed at that. They all laughed at that because they all fucking know him. And they know it's probably true. So, I used to have a residency in a club in London called the Top Secret Comedy Club. And one day I'm in a taxi and I'm going over there. And I'm telling this guy in the taxi about some stats that I've discovered, and so this is cross-dressing is the second most common sexual kink. Like 47% of straight couples have tried some of this, and the most common is like 56% have tried BDSM. You know what that is? Bondage and sadomasochism. Yeah, that could be as mild as you tried it. Good. That's Andy, I take it. 2 people are laughing there. There you go. So BDSM, there's a range, isn't there? Right. So it could be as mild as tie me to the bed, handcuffs. There you go. All the way up to I've got a dungeon. Why don't you come round and play? So the second biggest kink is cross-dressing, and again that could be as mild as him trying on her knickers. Or panties. Good man doesn't make you a bad person. All the way up to her getting a strap on and getting some fucking payback. So I'm telling that to this taxi driver, and he very kind of bravely, I think, says to me, he said, let's face it, who hasn't waited until their wife has gone away and then tried their knickers on? I was like, fucking hell, mate. It's a brave thing to admit to a tranny in the back of your cab, but there you go. I said, well, honestly, mate, to start off with, I mean, the first thing is, this isn't a kink, this is a job, I don't do this for sex. But the second thing, which is probably more important, is I am a size 16. Okay, 18. All right, I'm a size fucking 20, right? But my wife is a size 6. So me putting on her knickers is not gender bending, it's fucking BDSM. So men and women think differently, and I've got a little analogy to try and help some of you people figure this out. Men like to think compartmentalized, right? So if you're talking to a man about work, don't ask him a question about holiday, don't ask him about the car if he's thinking about the kids, because these are all separate areas that must never overlap. And to help the girls understand it, that's sort of the way we organise our underwear drawer, isn't it? 5 different knickers, all in different types of areas. Like you boys are looking for lost. Let me explain. Sorry, girls, here, bear with me. Women all have 5 different types of panties, right? Girls, am I right? 5 different types of panties. Number 1, you have your everyday panties, yeah? Yes. Buy them in packs of 7, made out of cotton, yeah. Got more of those than anything else, they're in the top drawer, okay? Number 2, right, you have your going out panties. Yes. No, boys, no. What you are thinking of are what the girls will call coming home panties. They fucking left the house in her handbag. And you only get to see them if you've been really fucking nice. So, what she left the house in are called Spanks, and you'll never fucking see them. So I've got my everyday pants, I've got my Spanks, I've got my coming home pants, then I've got what I like to call my 5-minute knickers. That special pair that costs $60, never need washing because they're never on long enough and I've had a bath before I put them on. All the girls are going, she's been in my bedroom. Because that's where they are, beside the bed. And then, so that's the 4 types, and then of course the 5th type is obviously obviously not we all, but you all have your period pants.
Yeah.
They're the ones that only you and your mother are allowed to wash. So that's the way men's brains are operated, kind of all separate. But, you know, women's brains are different. Women's brains, everything is interconnected, everything, you know, all, the school, the kids, the house, all kind of impact each other, and they all kind of work together and filled with emotion. That's like the way boys store their underwear, right? Except they don't probably put their underwear in a drawer. They're usually in a pile at the end of the bed. And there isn't 5 types, there's only 3, right? So if you're a boy, you've either got used underwear or new underwear. And if you live with a girl, and only if you live with a girl, you've got clean underwear. And yes, ladies, what I'm saying is pulling an idea out of a lady's head is a little bit like pulling a pair of underpants out of the pile at the end of the bed. Sometimes it's a new idea, sometimes it's an old idea, just occasionally it's dirty. Am I right? So, was that the light? So, I'm gonna, no, I can do another 20. But they may never let me back in the club, so I'm going to wrap it up with one little joke. I have an agent, and she phoned me up. She said, "I've got you a gig in Dubai." I was like, "Oh." Under Sharia law, this is punishable by death. So death, you know, I really fucking like cross-dressing, but death's pretty fucking final. So I said yes. But I had a condition, and the condition was that she had to get me a practice gig in Amsterdam. She was like, well, that's not a problem. Well, why do you want to practice in Amsterdam? I was like, well, where else would you practice being stoned? That Sharia law's a bit fucked up though, isn't it? Because apparently I strap 2 pounds of silicone to my chest, and I'm going to hell. 2 pounds of C4, I'm going to heaven. With 72 virgins. Who the fuck wants 72 virgins? Give me one girl from Liverpool, I'll be happy for eternity. They'll be really pissed off when they find out there was a mistranslation in the Quran it's not 72 virgins, it's one 72-year-old virgin. Called the Madonna. And if that doesn't fuck up Jerusalem, maybe Trump can have a go. I'll leave you with one 10-second gag. I was performing in Minneapolis on the day of the inauguration, and none of the American comics told any political jokes. And I need to tell you that in the UK, it's like our culture. You have to take the piss out of politicians. It's your civil responsibility. So I don't understand why nobody told a joke. So I ended my set there with this one. I'll end my set with this one for you. In the UK, we are 2 nations divided by a common language, so we have different definitions for the words and we think they're all the same. I think it's really interesting that actually we have the same definition of the word Trump. In the UK, Trump is a euphemism for fart. So my boys will often say, the baby Rachel's Trump daddy. So I like the fact that we both agree that the word Trump means the same thing. Hot air coming out of an arsehole. Thank you very much, you've been a lovely audience. Let's have a big round of applause for all the comics you've seen tonight. In a wonderful house. And my parting shot is it takes balls to do this. Good night!
And all the comedians that performed tonight up on stage for a picture.